Why are you still taking boring wildlife photos? Why? Why are they still boring? Please, I genuinely want to know why you think you're taking boring wildlife photos, because you clicked on this video thinking, my photos are boring, I want to make them more interesting. And don't worry, you haven't wasted your time, because I'm going to share with you a secret that I learned after about a year of doing wildlife photography. So it is not a waste, but I genuinely want you to go down in the comments and reflect maybe on why you think your photos are boring, because all photos are simply a representation of the artwork that we're creating when we go out on our adventures, on our wildlife adventures. Besides, I'm super happy that you're here and you want your wildlife photos to be more interesting. And today I have a pretty simple tip for you, but it's something that we can often struggle to get our heads around as photographers. You see, we're often focused on getting the sharpest and the clearest photo. And so often we'll spend hours and hours and hours looking and waiting for wildlife to be on that isolated perch in that upright position with perfect lighting. And that is the dream photo, the stunning photo, the photo we'll put in an album and likely not be able to beat. And this is what I was doing. I was searching for perfect lighting, for clarity, for no interference of twigs or things in the way or multiple birds in a shot. I wanted the isolation of the subject with a blurry background. And this was difficult, and it took me on many trips where I came back feeling like I got nothing. And yet, every time I went out, I would see awesome wildlife doing awesome things. You see, wildlife is living its normal life. It's going around the world, it's foraging for food, building nests, finding partners, migrating. They're always doing something. And the simple tip that I've got is take pictures of wildlife doing something. Focus less on the clarity and the lighting and focus more on the behavior of the species. Go out and find birds where they'll be feeding, drinking, bathing, flying. Find the birds where they're doing these things, because it's much more interesting to get a behavior which can trigger an emotion or tell a story than having just the clear bird. Now, there is a place for clear birds, and I have two books in front of me here. This first book is a book that tells you all of the different species of birds that you can find all over the world. And they're very clear photos. These are the kind of photos that beginner wildlife photographers want to get. Photos where you can clearly see the species and there's no interference. However, shout out to this book, not sponsored at all. This book is fantastic for identifying things, but I never pick it up and just want to look at the photos. It's a useful tool, but the photography in it is pretty bland. Garden Bird Confidential. I don't know if you've heard of this book or if you've seen this book. I don't think it's a very big book, and again, I'm not sponsored, but I do love this book because when you open it up, you find birds doing things. You find birds on plant pots. You find birds feeding on what they want to eat on their, you find here, nesting on cliffs, building nests, a bird beautifully singing. There's so much life in the pictures of this book. And when I open it, I genuinely get joy. Although some of the pictures aren't the clearest, I see the wildlife and the animals, and it portrays this story. I love it. I feel inspired by it. I look at those photos and I'm like, they're the photos I want to be taking. And so, it's not going to be a long video today, but I just want you to take away from this that you don't always need to chase the sharpest, the clearest, the most separated bird from the background. Instead, focus on behavior. Go out and capture birds feeding, especially this time of year. It's midsummer now. The chicks are all fledging and there's loads of young birds around. There's so many parents coming back and forth and feeding their chicks, and chicks begging on TV wires and fences, and all of this bustle of life is exciting. And we want to capture the behaviors. I hope you found this simple trick useful. If you have, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Comment down below if you have any questions or ideas that you want to use to inspire other people. Tell me why you think your wildlife photos aren't interesting, and I will see you in the next one.